Boom. If you are undercharging, I want you to pay attention to today's episode. When I first graduated from coaching school, I was charging a whopping $25 an hour. My mentality was this, I'm a new person to this coaching thing. I don't have any experience as a seasoned coach. And in my mind, that made a lot of sense. I wanted to get more experience and I didn't want to wait, around for it. I thought, let me just rock bottom my price and get people in. And it worked. I worked with 10 people for 6 months and they all had remarkable transformations and breakthroughs. One woman lost a bunch of weight and another woman said I saved her marriage. Now, when I invited these folks to continue with me at my regular fee of $100, that's what I wanted to charge. I wanted to charge $100 an hour. This was back in 2011. So at that time, $100 an hour for coaching to me made sense, right? So out of those 10 people who all said that they got a lot from me, only one took me up on my offer to actually pay me $100 per session. And so my question is, what happened to all those other people? So you could argue that they got what they needed and they didn't really have a problem that was worth investing in from their perspective. And I totally get that. And this brings me to the important point. Coaching is not therapy. It's not counseling. Coaching is for people who want to take themselves to another level. It's not a place where you go if you just want somebody to listen to you moan and complain about your life. It's not the place where you go when you're trying to figure things out. Coaching has objectives. Coaching has methods. Coaching promises transformations. And, I used to say that I want to coach myself out of a job. It was really important for me to equip my clients with the tools that they need or that they needed to manage their lives. That's good. That's true. And I guess this is kind of what I want to do with you today. I want to help you understand how you can raise your pricing. And I'm going to give you a few things. I'm going to give you 5 ways, 5 mindset shifts that you need to make in order to raise your prices. I'm going to do that today. But I also want to talk to you about this particular time that we're in right now. We are in the new moon in Leo. It is a new moon eclipse. It happens on Wednesday. So now is the time. And I'm going to give you 5 ways to use this new moon to help you really get your head around changing your prices and taking yourself, your coaching to another level. Welcome to the Spiritual Business Hour with Crystal Lynn Bell. My name is Crystal Lynn, and I am a spiritual business mentor. I work with women like you who want to be coaches, who want to have a successful coaching business, but maybe you're stuck. You don't know how to build a coaching business. Like me, you went to coaching school and you learned how to coach people, and you love doing that. But you did not learn how to build a business. And that is really important to understand. I had to learn how to build a coaching business. And that's why I now teach coaches how to build their coaching businesses. So let's get into today's topic because I think it's a really important one. Undercharging is chronic with women coaches today. And it's not a matter of just saying, oh, I'm going to do it, just I'm going to raise my prices and, you suck it up. It's not how it works. So, what I want to say is that people have to understand the value of your coaching. Well, not just your coaching, they have to understand the value of coaching in general in order to be able for you to be able to charge what you want. The people that you want to serve, they need to want to make your coaching offer a priority in their lives. And this is where it gets challenging. And this is why I want to have this talk with you today. Most coaches are not really undercharging because they're new. And they're not undercharging by just a little bit. They're significantly undercharging. And a lot of them have convinced themselves that it's the right thing to do. They call it being accessible. They call it building their audience. They call it being realistic about what the market can take, can handle. But really what it is, in most cases, is this kind of sophisticated set of justifications for a really deeply held belief that asking for what their work is worth is asking too much, that number that accurately reflects the value of what they deliver is a number that's going to make people uncomfortable, make the coach seem greedy, and make potential clients walk away. And so they charge less. And when the clients come, they're charging this small amount, but that's not enough to actually sustain them. And it's not like a lot of clients are coming to them now that they charge very little. They're confused, you see, because you think that, I'm charging less. This is why the clients are coming. And I don't think that's actually why the clients are coming. I think the clients are coming because you've relaxed. You're just not as uptight. And when you're not as uptight, you're much more magnetic. And you think it's because you lowered the price. And I say it's because you've lowered the barrier to offering service within yourself. So what can happen when you're charging low prices? So here's the problem with charging low prices is that you work harder to kind of compensate for the lower price. You over deliver so that you justify what you're asking for. But then at the same time, you're burning through your energy and you're burning through your internal system of goodwill. And you're doing it for an income that doesn't reflect what you're actually putting into it. You're causing cognitive dissonance within yourself. It's really a trip, and it's really real. That kind of really burns you out. And the joy that really brought you to coaching in the first place starts to dim, and you won't notice it right away. You can try to keep your energy up, but on a subconscious level, there's contraction, there's pulling away, and that's not good. It's really hard to stay inspired when you're not getting paid. And that's not your fault. It's not your fault. You shouldn't feel bad about it, but you need to do something about it. I kind of feel like people aren't saying this enough, although I have heard some good coaches and mentors say it. But undercharging is not just hurting the coach, it's hurting the client. If your coach is financially stressed and burned out, energetically depleted, and resentful on a subconscious level, because her pricing isn't sufficient or generous or handsome or kind, like she can't show up. The coach can't show up. So the client who hired her at a bargain price did not get a deal. She got a diminished version of somebody who could have been extraordinary. I think that's really, really true. And friend, I want you to understand that I have undercharged myself. I've done that for many years. I didn't know. I came from a family that undercharged for what we did. My family was a family, I come from a family of dentists. And we just had the mentality that the insurance pays and will discount the patient what the insurance doesn't pay. And it became this knee-jerk reaction. Oh, does this person get a discount? That person gets a discount. Everybody gets a discount. Discount, 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 discount. It became a thing. It was a mentality in my family. And I brought that mentality into my own workings with my own clients. First as a massage therapist, and then as a wellness studio owner, and then as a coach. Now, I have to say that when I opened my wellness studio, that was a time in my life when I did not undercharge as much as I had in the past and as much as I did in the future. Here's why. My wellness studio was a brick and mortar studio, and I had real employees. They were not independent contractors, they were employees. So my overheads were phenomenal. Like that studio had to bring in $12,000 a month, and the rent was the utilities, all that stuff, paying the taxes. It was really, really high. So I saw the amount that I needed to pay as a baseline, and then I could easily add my, profit onto that. And that actually worked really well. But when you're a coach, you don't have tangibles. You have time. And we're living in a world where more and more people are understanding that trading time for money is an issue. Like, we're trying not to do that. However, when you're a new coach and you're still trying things out, you're basically trading time. But there are so many hidden costs to running a coaching business. And I really try to work on that with my own clients, lowering those kinds of barriers so that you're not having to pay so much money. But there's a lot of money that coaches have to pay out every single month in order to make their business work. And employees are not just the beginning of it, right? If you want to do any kind of ads, you want to send emails, you want to, there are all kinds of things. That's going to be a different episode of the Spiritual Business Hour. I see that my precious friend Irishka is here. Hello, Irina. The conversation is super important. Thank you. My friend Irina, by the way, Irina does the same thing that I do. As a matter of fact, she's the inspiration for the Spiritual Business Hour. If you want to fill your life with great leaders in business, follow me, okay? But also follow my girl, Irina. She's great as well. And you can see her face there. Just send her a friendship request or you'll see her, okay, in the comments. My point is that setting a decent price for your offer is not arrogance. It's not greed. It's not insensitivity to what your clients can afford or cannot afford. It's actually one of the most direct acts of service available to a woman coach, because a coach who charges what her work is actually worth shows up differently in every single dimension of her business. She shows up with full presence. Number one, she shows up rested. She can afford to take a nap, okay? She can afford to sleep at night. She attracts clients who are genuinely invested in the work rather than clients who are shopping for a bargain. I'm so sorry, friends, but if you're shopping for a bargain with your coaching, move on, because I am not the coach for you. And I would not refer you to any of my friends, because I respect my friends and I respect our work. And I know the amount of time and energy and heart that all my friends put into their coaching business. I don't know a single slouchy, sloppy coach. So if you're looking for a bargain, go on, get out of here. All right. Go find yourself a bargain coach and see where that takes you. Y'all going to be all up in that vibe together. All right. So coaches like me, coaches like Irina, coaches like Jennifer, my friends you've seen here, Renee, you've seen us all here on the Spiritual Business Hour. We all deliver with the confidence of women who we know that our work is valued. And so we don't have to apologize. We don't have to apologize. We don't have to justify. Okay. We sustain ourselves over time rather than burning out in 2 years because the income never matched our effort. And I guarantee you that our clients get the results that they are investing in. We keep our promises. That's why we have reviews that are stellar. That's why our people stay with us for years. I'm talking I'm talking about my friends as well, because I think it's really important to understand that this is not a joke, and you have to start somewhere. And if you're a coach who's watching this and you understand the importance of charging what you're worth, and you understand the importance of supporting the coaches that are out there working and providing you with exquisite service, and you are receiving from them that exquisite service, and you're applying what they've said to your mindset, to your heart, to your mentality, to your business, the infrastructures. If you're using the information, then you want to pay for it. And if you want to learn how to get more in return on your investment, then by golly, you should say something, because I want all of my people to receive a return on their investment. Now, there is a broader dimension to this that the pricing conversation never actually reaches. So every woman coach who undercharges is contributing to a market norm that tells the next woman coach, that next woman, the women who are watching our legacy and they're coming up behind us, they are setting a standard that it is okay to charge very little, and you have to just suck it up. So when you're undercharging, you're doing a disservice to the next coach. This is not gas station coaching, where the gas station on that corner charges $4.99 a gallon. The gas station on that corner charges $4.98 a gallon. Well, we're going to go over here to the $4.98. No, that's not what we do. We don't do pricing wars within our coaching industry. We all just have to learn. And believe me, what I'm asking you to do is to learn something that is expansive and good for you. Pricing at your worth is not just a personal financial decision. It's a statement about the value of this work, about the value of women's expertise, and really what the coaching industry is worth in the world. Okay, your contribution matters. And right now, too many women coaches are not really standing up for what they deserve. And I think the timing is really, really powerful. So the new moon is Wednesday. Okay, now it doesn't matter when you're watching this video. You could watch it in December. You could watch it in June. It doesn't matter. Okay, but if you're watching now, today is Monday, August 10th. The new moon total solar eclipse. Total solar eclipse. It's in Leo, and it happens on Wednesday. Happens on Wednesday at 1:36. And this eclipse brings in a period of accelerated evolution. It's rapid change and it's course correction. It is in service to your soul's true path. And what you do over the next week is going to affect the next 6 months. So that means the intentions that you set around pricing this week are going to be processing, integrating, and materializing through the entire autumn season, right through my retreat, which happens at the end of this month. So I want to just throw this out there to you because I've forgotten to mention it. My retreat, the Liberated Coach Retreat, happens August 28th, 29th, and 30th. I want you to join me. We're going to be putting together the 5 pathways, the 5 pillars of your coaching business. We are going to do it over the course of one weekend. You're going to walk out with 5 blueprints that help you build your entire business. You're going to be able to build your entire coaching business on these 5 blueprints. It is $197 to join the retreat. But I think I'm going to offer you right now, if you sign up within the next 24 hours, because I forgot to change the price. So the price right now is just $97 because I forgot to do that this weekend. So you have one whole day, 24 hours to get it for $97. Please put the link. I see my girl Zaina has put the link in there. Thank you, Zaina. Sign up now, 3 days. There will be a replay available for a few weeks. So even if you can't join live, you can catch up. Okay. But you're going to walk away with knowledge about exactly what to do in your business. It is huge. It is great. It's my forte. It's my specialty. And I'm excited to take you through it. All right. So let me give you those 5 ways to use the new moon solar eclipse in Leo to transform your pricing mindset this autumn. Why am I saying this autumn? Because you need to work with the energy of the seasons, my friend. You should be launching right now. Okay, summer is a time of building. Autumn is a time of launching. Winter is a time of resting, recuperating, rejuvenating, and then spring is a time of rebirth. All right. So I want you to be prepared. I want you to make the most of your time with this time. So 5 ways. Way number 1. I want you to set your pricing declaration on August 12th, full stop. Okay, period. Make a declaration on August 12th. So this new moon total solar eclipse in Leo represents the start of a 6-month cycle. And whatever intentions you set on this day will come to fruition over the next 6 months. That is what you're doing. This is how you use new moon energy. So this makes August 12th one of the most powerful pricing intention dates of the entire year. This is not something, not a place to be vague and nondescript. Okay. Make it specific, write it down, write it in your own hand. As Bob Proctor says, a gold card. Write your gold card. I love Bob Proctor. I don't have any cards handy. My cards are way over there. I'm not going to go get them. But he says, write your goal on a gold card with his little Canadian accent. So charming. So we want you to make yourself a goal card or whatever, write it down and be specific, make it a declaration, claim the exact number, what you want to charge for your offer. And then what I want you to do, write it down, you say it out loud. And what I really want you to do is actually to put it, I want you to put it, I want you to write down the number. I want you to write down the transformation. I want you to write down how it helps. I want you to write down the offer. Now, I'm going to talk more about the offer in a minute, but I kind of want you to do this booklet. We're going to do this booklet. I'm going to tell you about it afterward. Let me get through my 5 so I don't forget, okay? Let me get through my 5 and then I'll come back. Now, by the way, if you are in the Women Helping Women Entrepreneur group, I'm going to keep on chatting, but we have to cut off our transmission to you. So I'm going to say goodbye to you if you're in the Women Helping Women's group. But for the rest of you, hang out because I'm going to finish giving you the remaining 4 ways to use this new moon in Leo energy. All right. All right. Way number 2. Identify and release the old pricing identity. So this eclipse is a clear reminder that you want to welcome something, okay? You want to welcome somebody new into your life, a new you. That's the beauty of an eclipse. An eclipse comes and it eclipses out the old. So what do you got to do? You got to bring in the new. Okay, so we want to make sure that we do that. And we'll talk about that. I'm going to have to talk about that on Wednesday when I'm doing my eclipse episode. All right. It's about letting go of something that's outdated. And we want to really identify that outdated thing. And the outdated thing, of course, is the pricing identity that you've been carrying, that really particular version of yourself that decided at some point in the past that, the most you could ask for was $126 or $250 or $3,000. You got to look at who that is. You have to look at why you're doing that. You have to look at yourself and you have to question yourself. That identity has a history. It has an origin, and it originated in an experience or a belief. Like with my family, it originated with my family. And I'm not someone who believes that we came into our family by accident. I know we didn't. I know I didn't come into my family by accident. We are karmically bound and we got stuff to work out, and we are working it out. But it's not an accident. I'm no victim of the universe. I'm a force of nature. I'm life force energy courses through my veins. It's not random, not accidental. So understanding the origin of this identity is going to be really important. On August 12th, I want you to consciously release it as the eclipse closes the old cycle and opens a new one. This is so important. So the woman who goes into the autumn season with the old pricing identity is still the same woman. Okay, she's going to be having the same conversation 6 months from now. Do you want to be that woman? No, you do not, because you mad at the woman you were last year when you didn't do what you said you were going to do. You mad, you looking back at her being, I'm mad at you. Well, hey, change it right now. Go forward with me at this eclipse, and you will be able to look back and say, I love you. Thank you so much for making that decision. I did that. All right. Let's look at number 3. You want to raise one price before the eclipse closes. So you made the declaration. Okay, that's the first thing. I declare that I'm going to change my pricing. I'm going to abide by this new pricing. And you want to raise your price. All right. So the eclipse season is already started. Okay. You're in it right now. You're in the window. So now energetic support is here. Choose one offer, raise its price to the number that accurately reflects the value that it delivers, and do this before August 28th is when there's the lunar eclipse. It's a partial lunar eclipse, but it's real and you need to take care of it, whether it's lunar eclipse, whether it's a full eclipse or a partial eclipse. Eclipses are powerful, period. Okay. So you don't have to do a dramatic overhaul of your pricing structure, but just take the leap and create that offer that really matches the price. And that's what my 4th tip is. Build the offer that justifies the price that you want to charge. One of the most honest reasons that a woman coach undercharges is because they haven't fully built the offer that they believe is worth what they're charging. So the Leo eclipse energy, which is absolutely associated with your heart and passion, creativity, courage, sovereignty. This energy is really about supporting bold acts of sovereignty. I'm going to say that, bold acts of sovereignty. And you're much more capable than you think you are. You're playing it small. So use this eclipse season to refine your signature offer so that when you say the price, you feel the truth of it in your body rather than anxiety because you're not sure. And I get it. I totally get it. And this is what I want to share with you. I want to share this with you at the end. When we're done with when I give you the 5th one, okay, I'm going to then tell you what I want you to do. And I've just alluded to it, but I'm going to tell you. So let me give you number 5. Number 5 is to let the 6-month cycle do its work. So whenever you're dealing with a new moon or a full moon, it's not just the day of the moon, it's what happens 6 months later. So if this is a new moon today, it's August 12th will be the new moon eclipse. 6 months from then, there's going to be a full moon. Okay, that new moon to full moon cycle is really important because at the new moon you're saying yes, and then everything is starting to fall into place. And then at the full moon, there's the challenge that comes up. Full moons are about healing. So you're going to get challenged in 6 months. In 6 months, you're going to ask yourself you're going to feel like this maybe is uncomfortable. Somebody's going to say something to you that's going to make you question the decision that you made 6 months ago. That's what the moons do. Okay. Your job is to be strong during this time, reinforcing between now and 6 months from now, when that full moon is in Leo. And in 6 months, you are going to be challenged, and your job is going to be to say yes, overcome the challenge, and then move into the final phase, which is when you start to own it. You don't own something until you've been challenged and you've stuck with it. You've harnessed it and taken ownership. So when that challenge comes up and somebody's like, who do you think you are for charging this price? You're going to say, I know who I am for charging this price. My name is Crystal Lynn Bell, and I charge this price. And the person will do what they're going to do, but you don't back down. If they say, well, I'm not going to work with you and I think you suck, I'm going to write you a bad review. You don't back down. You stay there in the truth. You got to have a big challenge. If you're not challenged in a big way, it's not yours. Little challenges don't count. So when those big challenges come, that's when you stand up and you get to be strong. And don't be fooled by that little outcome that you're experiencing, when you are challenged. That's not where the rubber meets the road. That's just a little bump in the road, right? That's the opportunity for you to stand up, and then all your angels come down and they rest with you and they say, hey, you've got this. And then you move forward at the next level. Okay. All right. It's kind of like with a butterfly. You know how the butterfly breaks out of the cocoon, and it had to really fight to get out of that cocoon. A lot of people think that just because the butterfly has gotten out of the cocoon, its life is easy. Hey, you're a butterfly now. You can fly. Fly. Do you know the work that a butterfly has to do? She has to lay hundreds of eggs on the back of milkweed. She has to fly in the wind, okay? She's flying against the wind, flying with the wind. She wants to go over there, but the wind is pushing her back. She's in constant communication with the world around her. My point is that your journey is just beginning. Embrace it, love it, and accept those challenges with an open mind and an open heart. That's where your magnetism comes in. That's where your character gets built. And that's where you own your business. You own your pricing. Now, here's what I want you to do. This is the thing that helped me so much. I mentioned this, I think, last week. I'm going to say it again because it's important. The thing that helped me own my pricing was creating a booklet about my pricing. Now, who gets the booklet? It doesn't matter who gets the booklet. What matters is that I created the booklet. And when I created that booklet, it gave me an opportunity to really look at what I charge, how much I charge, and why I charge it. So in my booklets, this is what I do. If you have questions about this, you can always ask, leave it in the comments. But what I do in my booklets is I write down a beautiful letter to my client. Hey, this is what I'm offering you. This is why I'm offering it to you. This is how it's going to change you. And then I give it, I write down the transformations that they're going to walk through, right? I make that a section in my booklet. And then I write down everything that they are going to get. And I write down why it's so valuable. And then I write down, I attach a dollar amount to the change that I write a dollar amount that reflects the value of that particular thing. So let's say that we're going to have a private session. I'll say that the value of a private session, 1 hour with me, is $2,500. Why? Because it is. I'm a business guru. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course, the value of what I offer is 2,500 bucks an hour. I know my shit. Okay. So I write that down. And then let's say that I write down that I give you, I have all these modules with videos, and I call it my whatever program. Okay. Um, so that's there. And then I say the value of that. The program that I've put together is worth $20,000. It's got all these exercises, workbooks, and spreadsheets that you can use to build your business. I write all that down. I put the value at $20,000 because that's what it's valued at. And then what I'll do, after I've listed all those things, put all the value in there, then what I'll do is add in any kinds of bonuses that I would give to someone if they sign up. And for example, I might offer them my book as a bonus, right? $30 value, or the value of the book. The charge is the charge for my book is $29.95, but the value of the book is $150. Okay. Value is different than charge, but the reason you write down the value is because it makes you understand. Number one, it makes you put a financial amount to something that, let me say this the right way. It makes you stop being so vague around the dollar amounts of what you're doing. And this is the problem. As a coach, and particularly a woman coach, we don't like to put dollar amounts on love. Okay. If you said to your partner, I love you, it's worth this much, you would feel really bad. It doesn't work. Okay. But luckily, we are not offering love to our clients in the form of energetic, loving heart. We are actually offering love in the form of a workbook or a class or a video and all these different things put together. So we have something that's tangible, but we keep it in the intangible by not doing this exercise. So I want you to bring your ideas, make your product tangible, but put a price on it because it's tangible. You see? So when you write out this thing, it actually makes everything really tangible. It makes it measurable. It makes it usable. It's very powerful. So once you've written out everything and you want to add some bonuses to it, because I like to, I give that book to the people who want to work with me so that they see the value of what they're getting, and then they see the actual cost of the thing that they are getting. So once I've done the bonus and I've written all those things out, the last thing I do is I write out what the actual charge is, how much I'm charging. And then I put the monthly payment options on it. That is what I do. All right. I hope that makes sense. Okay. I am in a very funny space today. My head is so loopy. It might be this new moon energy. I am very sensitive. It is also, by the way, the end of the Lionsgate portal, and I have done so much internal work and like work in the material world as well. So yeah, I'm a little loopy right now. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you'll be back here with me tomorrow for the next episode of Spiritual Business Hour with Crystal Lynn Bell. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Mwah. Bye for now, friends. Bye.